The brand new Fujifilm 23mm F2.8 RWR is going to be an instant classic. This pancake lens is going to sell like hotcakes. Fujifilm sent me this lens to review and test, but I don't get to keep it and I have to return it and no money change lens, and they don't know what I'm about to say or what I already said until now that the video is public. In a $500 package, you get a very small, tiny, well-built lens, which also is weather sealed. It gets you the aperture ring with also an image quality that is very, very, very good. In combination with the XE5, it gets you that interchangeable lens X106 experience, and it gets you that with a lens that performs really, really well. It's very compact, very lightweight. It comes in two colors depending on the kit that it's sold with, because at the beginning, mind you, this lens is going to be only sold with the XE5 kits. In order to get this lens separately, you're going to need to wait until December. So it's a clear indication that Fujifilm is pushing a lot and is pushing a lot of chips into the kit with the XE5 because they're going after the X106 type of user that want interchangeable lenses. Aside from the build quality, this lens, from an optical standpoint, it's just very, very, very good. To the point where I have no doubt saying that this lens is better than the 23mm f2, the interchangeable lens that you can get for the Fujifilm X system, but it's also better than the 23mm f2 that you can find in the X106. Yes, it's a step slower, which may be important for some, but when it comes to image quality, this lens is just very, 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 very good. Not only because it is sharp in the center, it is very sharp almost until you get to the extreme corner where at f2.8 they just drop off a little bit, but as you stop down they get perfect at f5.6. The lens also shows a small amount of vignetting wide open, and it goes away as you stop down. It's not just sharpness though. What you get out of this lens is a very nice bokeh. I was going to say smooth. It's not smooth. It's just nice. And the three-dimensional look that you get out of this lens pushes beyond what you would expect from a 23mm f2 lens, because you're not going to obliterate the background with such a lens, so you should not expect that. But the transition between the area that is in focus to the out of focus area is very smooth, it's very pleasing, it's got character, it's got a look that you can immediately tell the photo was shot with this lens. And this doesn't come with huge flaws because usually the character comes with flaws. There's not many huge flaws. This lens also flares, of course. There's some flare when you shoot against the sun, but the flare that you get out of this lens is very smooth. It adds to the image rather than taking away from the image. And you can't always say that. Actually, as of late, with flare, some lenses have not been that great. With this one, you get flare, but you get a nice flare that adds to the image. So there's nothing to complain. Like the lens is sharp up until f8, and then it goes a little bit down in sharpness at f11 while still being plenty usable, and it drops a lot more when you go to f16. At f16, you get nice sun stars, but I mean, I don't know whether you're gonna go after sunstars with this lens or not. If you are, just mind you, they get good only at f16. But in that moment, you're losing a lot of sharpness. So it's a trade-off. It's up to you to decide whether the trade-off is okay for you or not. Aside from that, there's no real downsides to this lens. When it comes to the autofocus, this lens is sporting the stepper motor, not linear motors. None of the lenses with this size and weight have linear motors. That means probably the way the linear motors are built, they won't fit in such a small lens. The good thing about these stepping motors is that the autofocus is pretty fast and it's pretty accurate. However, not the fastest and definitely not silent. The autofocus, you can hear it. You can definitely hear that the parts are moving, but it's better than what you get out of, let's just say, the 27mm F2.8, by the way, review over here. Now, I love that lens, but while we're in the topic of that lens, this is a much better lens from, regardless of where you're looking at it from, this lens is way better. So if you're on the fence between the two, go for this. It's definitely a better lens. I really love using this lens on the X-T5. I got very nice images. I love those images. All of those images that you've seen and you will see in this video were shot with that camera. By the way, a review of that camera over here. It's just the perfect match for the X-T5. I don't know how else to say that. So if you're on the fence, whether you to purchase, like if you're about to purchase an X-T5 and you're on the fence, you don't know if you want the kit or not, I say for $250, because that's what you're gonna pay the lens when you're buying the kit, it's worth keeping it. It's worth getting it because this lens is definitely really, really good. And since a lot of reviewers are gonna praise this lens, I'm pretty sure. Once it gets sold separately, it's not going to be easy to find available copies of this lens. So absolutely love this lens, although I am not a 23mm, a 35mm equivalent lens shooter. It's probably just me and Chris Nichols on that. Everyone else seems to love the focal length. But this lens almost changed my mind. It's just that good. And I'm not overhyping the lens. It's really, really, really good. And the three-dimensional look that I got out of this lens surprised me because I didn't expect that type of look. So all in all, I definitely recommend getting this lens if you're looking at a 35mm equivalent. Again, this is better than the 23 F2, and it's better than the 23 F2 that you find on the X100. And I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments below if you wanted to know a lot more, if there's something else that I missed. I'm really curious about your opinions. For me, for now, that's it. Ciao, grazie, and I'll see you in the next one.